So I've always worked in technology. I've always worked with software type startups. But about a year ago, I embarked on this fashion project tied to one of my hobbies, which is biking. I love to bike. It's my main mode of transportation here in the city. So about a year ago, my friend and I were chatting, and we were so tired of all of our clothing being ruined by the bike commute. And there was nothing in the market that we liked. It was all ugly. And we wanted something fashionable and durable. So we decided to make it ourselves. We launched an Indiegogo campaign and raised over $15,000 to make the perfect bike pant. We designed and manufactured that here in San Francisco. So we're going to walk through those steps in apparel production so you can make your dream come true also. First, you need to begin with an idea. Think about the clothing that you have and that you love. Hone in on those features that you really like and think about what you can do to make it better. Once you have your idea and your initial design concept, you need to create a pattern. Now, there are factories that will provide all-in-one services, but it's really expensive, and there's a lot of opportunity for mistake if you're not involved every step along the way. So you can find an independent pattern maker on Yelp, actually, through word of mouth, or if you're feeling a little dangerous, you can go grab a student from the Academy of Arts here in the city. Once you have your pattern, the next step is to grade the pattern. That means you take that original size and grade it smaller and larger within that desired size range. Your pattern grader may not be your pattern maker because these require different skills and different tools. Now, once you have your pattern graded, you need to go have the marker created. This is when they take your pattern pieces and lay them out on top of the fabric as efficiently as possible to optimize the fabric usage. They print out this super long piece of paper, which we'll talk about later, how they use it. Now, at this point, you should be sourcing all of the things for your product. These are all going to come from completely different vendors, like the size tag, the apparel tag, the hang tag, the care label tag, buttons, lining fabric, all that stuff. But there is one thing that you do not have to source, and that is thread. The factory will provide this, so you can cross this off your list right now. At this point, you should have made a prototype or two. You're going to want to test the heck out of it. You're going to want to give it to all of your friends and have them go ride their bikes and roll around in the dirt or whatever it is to get the feedback that you need to make sure your prototype is what you want. After you have a prototype that you're happy with, you're going to need to do a full sample size run. This is to make sure that the pattern grade is correct and see if there's any tweaks you want to make on the smaller or larger sizes. Now, if you found your factory at this point, you can pay them to do the sample size run, or you can find an independent seamstress, plenty here in the city. Now, finding your factory is not easy. This information is not online, but luckily there's a really great local resource called sfmade.org. Still, they just gave us a piece of paper with a couple names, some phone numbers, an address or two, so you just have to be diligent and call down that list. And if someone answers the phone, it's going to sound like they're yelling at you, and it may or may not be in English, but just find out where their location is and go on down and say hello in person. Very face-to-face type of industry. Now, before you guys decide to work together, they're going to make you one more sample. They need to cost out the price of production, and you want to make sure they do a good job. But you can put this in your pile for your upcoming sample sale. Now, when the factory is ready to start production, you're going to gather all your materials, all your fabric, and take it down all at the same time, because they'll lose things if you leave things there. For the first step of production, which is cutting the fabric. This is where they take your marker, which you printed out earlier, and lay it over your fabric that's layered on this super long table, and take this vertical cutting tool and trace around every single pattern piece organized by size. Then they hand those size bundles over to the sewers on the floor who begin production. Now, at this point, whatever target date you have for this project, it's going to be a month or two late. There's going to be problems with sourcing and production, but just roll with it and know that every small and large apparel business has this problem. But in the end, when everything's done, the factory will press and cut off the threads and put everything in boxes for you to pick up and take to your probably home if this is a side project. But then you have your final product. In the end, your dream is a reality, and ours happened to be the perfect bike pant, but now you know exactly how to make your fashion dream come true as well. Thank you.